Well, welcome everybody. Hello. Hope you are all having a spectacular day. Welcome to the Portal to the Infinite, your guide to the ascension of humanity. And I'm Brian. I'm your host. And make sure to, if you like this video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, and share it with somebody if you feel that they will resonate with the messages of this podcast. All right. Now, so this episode, this is the third episode we're doing. We still have a very small audience, but a devoted group of people. As I said, I haven't promoted this anywhere because I want to see this grow on its own. And by the way, you can follow me as well on Twitter X, and my handle there is Awakened Soul 71. I'll leave that in the description box, by the way. All right, now today, I like to get right into things. I don't want to keep leading, wasting your time. I want to talk today, since this show is really here because, and if you're listening to it, there's a reason why. You've aligned with it. What do I mean by that? Well, your higher self will always lead you to the people, places, and things necessary to further your path, your spiritual path and growth. And if you are listening to this, it's because you're on a spiritual path of some sort. Most of you are probably just getting into spirituality, which has nothing to do with religion. And today I'm going to outline a very simple path of how you can grow and walk your own path. There are no rules. See, that's the problem. We've had religion on this planet for thousands of years, and so people equate spirituality with religion. And what is religion? Well, religion is a bunch of rules. It's a bunch of systems. It's a bunch of protocols put in place by humans that other humans follow, thinking that by following that, they're going to earn their way into eternal life, into heaven, whatever it may be. But that's not what spirituality is. Spirituality usually begins with you. In your heart, within you, there's something tugging on you. There's something telling you that there's more to this life than you've been told, more than you know, and that there's more to you than you've been told. You're not just this lump of flesh and bones who is going to die one day, and that's it, that's the end of you. But there's something more, there's something greater. And when you're feeling that way, you start to look around and say, okay, you look for signs or evidence to start to make this become a reality for you. Like, is this true? Is there really more to life than there is? Is there more to me than there is? And that alone is coming from your higher self. See, that's what I want you to understand. And I know it's difficult in the beginning. It was difficult for me. Believe me, I've been through it all. I've walked these paths. I've gone through ups and downs and you name it. I still face challenges. We always do, but the challenges are wonderful because once you know who you are, then you embrace the challenges because you know they've been put in front of you for a reason. And that reason is always for your best and greatest good, your highest and greatest good. So let me go and talk about what you can do. Now, again, this is not a script. This is not a doctrine. This is what I feel can help you to start to walk down your path and to grow spiritually and to have your higher self continue to just walk you into new situations, bring new people into your life while you follow your passion and you walk your soul's plan. Because as I said in the last episode, we all have help. We all have guidance in the unseen realms. All you have to do is ask for it. You've got angels. You've got guides. You've got ancestors, beloved loved ones who've gone home to spirit. They're all there to help you. But one of the main rules of the universe, of spirit, is that each and every one of us, though we are all one, because we all come from the same single source, that is the creator, the source, God, whatever you want to call it. Because God's not a person in the sky. I mean, that's what a lot of people think about, an old man with a beard sitting in a throne. Well, there are ascended beings in higher realms who may look like that. But we all, whether it is that person or you, I mean, that soul or you as a soul, we all come from the same source. We are all eternal. And we come here to have experiences that grow and expand our soul so that we can go on to higher and higher levels of being. Now, of course, we have linear time here, as I've said. In the 3D realm, we have yesterday, the present moment, and tomorrow, the future. But that doesn't exist in spirit. Spirit is infinite. So, and I know that's hard to wrap your mind around, but don't try and don't worry about that, because you see, what you cannot wrap your consciousness around right now, it means you're not ready for it. And that was my problem, because when I first got into this, I wanted it all. You name it, I wanted it. I wanted all knowledge, everything immediately. That's just always been my nature. It still is. That's who I am. But I've learned that you have to walk a path. And if you trust that this path is laid out for you by your higher self, where you are also guided by all of the angels and the guides and the loved ones who have nothing but your greatest good at heart, then you can trust that anything that comes your way is there for your greatest and highest good. Because I can tell you how many times that things happened or things came up in life, and I'm like, wow, this isn't supposed to happen. I'm a spiritual person. I'm walking a spiritual path. Everything is supposed to be perfect. Not true. Now, here's why. First of all, nothing can ever harm you. Remember, you're eternal, number one. And what's the worst thing that could happen? I'm not saying this as something that should happen, but the worst thing that could happen in somebody's mind is that they would die. But that's fine, because only your body dies. You don't. And we're going to get into that in another whole episode about afterlife experiences and thousands and hundreds of millions of them documented around the planet by scientists and doctors. We're going to talk about that because I want you to get over any fear of death. But what I'm saying is you're going to be led down paths where you're going to learn the lessons that your soul set out to learn here in this lifetime. Now, you have free will. As I say, the one major rule in spirit is that each of us, even though we're all from the one, and this is what I forgot to mention 2 minutes ago, even though we're all of the one, we are each a unique expression of the one. And we have freedom of choice, freedom of expression, freedom to be whatever it is we want to be and do whatever we want to do. So you will have all sorts of things coming into your life. And then you're going to learn how to recognize what's for you and what's not for you based upon how you feel about it, because that's your intuition. And I'm going to do a whole show on that too. But let me get down to this, folks, because again, I don't believe in these long podcasts. I think most people don't have the time. So I like to get down to the nitty-gritty and help people just understand where you can begin. Begin with where you're at, number one. So the first thing you want to do, you want to become aware of your thoughts, because your current thinking represents your belief systems. Your belief systems were mostly formed in the first 7 years of your life. Psychologists call those the imprinting years. So in the first 7 years of your life, you're developing your ideas about people, places, and things, the world around you, and how things are, how they should be, and how they should work. And once you have that belief in your subconscious, then that's your programming, so to speak. You literally are like a biological computer, but you're the programmer. The you inside of you, the seer, the awareness, because you're not even your thoughts. That's another thing you have to understand, and I know it's hard to wrap your mind around that. You're the observer of your thoughts. And who's the observer? The Creator, God, Source. Again, there's so many names for it. Don't get hung up on words or names. It's really about the meaning that you assign to it. So you need to become aware of your thoughts. How do you do that? You've got to spend quiet time. You can call it meditation. You can call it mindfulness. You can go for a walk. You can garden. You can paint. You can do anything that puts you in that state of being. And the idea is to start to watch. Detach yourself from your thoughts. Just know, even though it's hard in the beginning, just say, listen, I know I'm not my thoughts. Let me see what thoughts pop into my head as I'm sitting quietly or as I'm engaging in this activity. But the activity can't require you speaking to somebody else. You've got to be quiet so you can go within. Remember, Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is within you. It's not outside of you. Everything is within you. And the reason why you want to do this is because the more aware you become of the thoughts you're thinking, the more aware you become of what needs to change about those thoughts. What do you think about yourself? Who do you believe yourself to be? What do you think about the world around you? What do you think about others? What fears and anxieties do you have? And not only should you spend time quietly listening or paying attention to your thoughts, develop self-awareness. Self-awareness is the single most important skill for everybody, especially if you're on a spiritual path. Because self-awareness is going to help you become aware of every aspect of yourself. And so you can decide, you, the seer, the awareness, the creator within, who's having this experience, can decide what serves you and what doesn't. And all that doesn't serve you, you can remove from your programming, from your subconscious mind. because you're going to use your conscious mind to make those decisions. So you're going to pay attention to thoughts that cause you to respond with fear, worry, and anxiety. All useless things, folks, all useless, and you'll eventually come out of that. So these thoughts represent the inner subconscious beliefs. They're your programming, and they've got to go. You've got to weed them out. So, and your thoughts, again, your subconscious mind is like the software. Look at it that way. It's like the software that's governing or running the programs of your mind. But you can change that. You have the absolute power to remove old, flawed beliefs and replace them with new, empowering, and limitless beliefs about yourself, the world, and about others. And then eventually, by the way, just like Jesus and all the great spirits who came down to teach us, that they have an inner knowing. They're beyond belief, meaning they've gone beyond the idea of just believing something to be so. Kind of like the placebo effect, how a doctor can prescribe a sugar pill to someone, and the person believes it's real medicine, that it will cure them, and they wind up getting cured, and there's no medical or scientific reason why they got cured. It was because of their belief. And Jesus said, "It shall be done to you according to your belief." And by the way, you're going to start to see Jesus in a whole new light, the light of who he really is, what he really meant to teach us, what has, as opposed to what's been edited out of his story to make him conform more to what men who ruled wanted you to believe, because they wanted to limit you. They didn't want you to know who you really were, because then they would have no power over you, because they really don't have any power over you. The only power anything has over you is the power you give it in your mind. So a great way to replace old beliefs and to begin the practice is to come up with affirmations. So once you've identified all of your old, negative, and limited beliefs, and this may take time, give yourself as long as it takes. This may take a day, it may take a week, it may take a couple of years, however long it takes. Because it depends upon how deep those beliefs are. And there are some beliefs that you don't realize it, but you just don't want to let go of them. You hold on to them. We all do. Because we fear, like, if I get rid of this belief, what's it going to be like now? Because this belief has kept me comforted. This belief has kept me safe. And again, that's all your own mental construct. What really lies on the other side of this is ultimate and total and complete freedom. So write out a list of the things and beliefs that you want to have. Start with that. Those which serve your highest good and allow your most authentic self to emerge freely. And most important, write out everything for which you are grateful. Begin to read and say these affirmations out loud as well as in your head. Do it as much as you want. Write them down. Put them next to your bed. Put them in your car. Put them on your phone. Do this until it becomes an obsession. Because it was really affirmations that originally programmed your subconscious mind, because you affirmed that everything you were receiving and seeing and hearing was real. So you have the right to do that, to change all of those things to what you want. So while you're driving, while you're showering, while you're walking, use all of your downtime to affirm these new beliefs and do it with gratitude. Do this forever, because this is you now taking control over your own subconscious thinking and making it work for you, not against you. And as I said, give yourself as long as it takes. Now, get ready for a roller coaster ride. Yep, your old beliefs won't always leave easily. Don't forget, you have a long-term relationship with them. You have emotions and memories and emotions attached, and they don't want to let go. Now, you'll have days where you will feel like you're a Superman or a Superwoman and nothing can stop you. And then, all of a sudden, an old fear or belief comes knocking at your mental door. Tap, 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 knock, knock, knock. Now, sometimes you're going to fail and open the door and give your energy. Remember, everything is energy. Your attention, like I said in the last episode, energy goes where your attention goes. Or should I say, energy flows where your attention goes. That's more like it. So you're going to open the door and give energy back to that old belief. It's going to happen sometimes. But this is where you must remain steadfast and committed to your personal growth. So don't worry if you fall into this trap. Everybody does, and I did it. I can't tell you how many times. It happens to everybody. But my desire to grow spiritually became far greater than any negative or limited belief. So that was my intention. Your intention is so powerful. It's like the sail of it's the wind blowing on the sail. You set the sail. You can go wherever you want. It's up to you. All right. So now, by this time, after you've done all of the above, taking as much time as you require, do not compare yourself with others. Do not look at me. This is over 30 years with me in my spiritual walk. Do not look at others and compare yourself. Well, I should be here. This isn't a race or a competition. It is irrelevant. It is all for your soul's path. And whatever has to be laid out for you in the timing, in the settings, in the circumstances, you need to trust that all of this is being laid out for you perfectly, for you and you alone. So once you've been doing this for a few months, you've convinced yourself that you believe in it all, but you still are not to the point where you have the internal knowing, and that could be a few years. It could be many years, which takes your game to the next level. Once you have a knowing, now you're on a totally different place. This is where you'll want help and assistance, and this is where it really gets fun and exciting. Now, you probably can't wrap your mind around it, but we all have guides, as I've said, angels and ancestors who are in spirit. They want to help you in any way that you ask, but because of the universal law of free choice, as I said, you must ask for the help. Now, you may say, well, how do I ask? How do I ask something I can't see for help? No different than you would ask anybody else. You do it either with your mouth by asking, or you do it with your heart, your mind, your intention to ask for help. And believe me, you will get that help. How does it show up? Well, in an infinite number of ways. But the first thing you must have is patience. Remember, spirit in our soul's path does not work according to our ego. We want everything right now. We want it immediately, and we don't want to wait, and we want it all. That's the ego speaking. Your soul is very patient, and I've had answers given to me sometimes in minutes, sometimes days, sometimes even weeks. But why the delay? Because certain things just have to be worked out on your spiritual path, in the spiritual plane, so that everything falls together for your greatest good. If you're not getting the answer you want immediately, it's because it's not in your greatest and highest good. You will never, ever, your guides, your angels, your higher self is never going to rush you through a process because your ego wants it. So you got to get over that. Now, there are some people who hear directly from their guides. Guides sometimes appear to people, or they appear in dreams, but most of us do not. So instead, you have to become always inwardly focused, because everything is within and comes from within. This is where your intuition comes into play. So you may start to see sequential numbers throughout your day. These are called synchronicities. You may notice that it's 11:11, 1111 on the clock. And you may notice that, you may look at your stove clock, which is never set to the right time. I know mine isn't. And I may see that several times a day. You may wake up in the middle of the night. This used to happen to me constantly, and it would be 3:33 or 4:44 or 1234. You're going to begin to see these, what are called synchronicities. I know some people on the internet, you'll see memes, they call them angel numbers, and they try to tell you what each one means. And all right, fine, but I don't bother with that, because to me, I just see it as a synchronicity that is telling me, it's signaling, it's my higher self signaling to me that I'm on the right path and everything is fine. Everything always is fine. It's just that these tell you that you're on your path. So that's what your guides will do. And then your intuition, when you're spending quiet time, ask yourself, where do I want to go? What do I want to do? And whatever starts popping up inside of you, whatever draws your attention, whatever becomes your passion, because everybody's got a passion and desires. Your greatest passion is really your soul path. That's what they don't teach you in society. That's why people are miserable. People working years in a 9-to-5 job in this system. And this system's coming to an end. Don't worry, folks. What lies on the other side of the system is just mind-bogglingly beautiful. It's wonderful. It's what's going to allow everyone to become their greatest and highest self and follow their soul path. Because this system no longer serves us. So you're going to see that happen. You're going to feel it. And you're going to start to be drawing things to you that reflect your passion and allow you to further it. Because why would you have a passion inside of you? a desire inside of you. It's divine. It's the creator source itself looking through your eyes and through your experience to have an experience that is unique to you, that has never been had by any other person, soul, ever, or ever will again. You're it. You've got to look at it that way. And I find that exciting. So as you begin the path and you see these numbers and you're following your passion and just things are changing, but most likely you're going to start losing interest in old things that no longer serve you, people in your life who no longer serve you. There are some toxic people, maybe people who drain you, and instead your life will become populated with people who raise you up, who raise your vibration, who make you feel great. So let these things go, but let them go with gratitude. Remember, don't be angry because of somebody that was in your life. You've attracted everything into your life up to this point, but you've done it unknowingly. What's happening now is you're going to begin to attract everybody and everything knowingly. You are the creator. You're creating your life. So have gratitude for everyone who was in your life because they taught you a lesson. Open up to what is being sent as their replacement. Fill your heart with gratitude. I can't express that enough. Gratitude. Every day, be grateful for everything that you have. Be grateful for the smallest things, whatever it is. And so I know some people say, well, I don't know what to be grateful for. Well, you live here in the United States, so you have food on the table every night? Yep. Okay. Aren't you grateful for that? You have a place to sleep. You have heat, cold water, hot water, running water. You have plumbing. You have all of that. Be thankful for it. Your health, your friendship, your family. Be thankful when you look at the blue sky, the trees, nature. Gratitude, because whatever you're grateful for, the universe just keeps sending you more of that. So now we can never see our direction from our limited point of view, which is why we have to trust the guidance we receive from above. But when we look back at our spiritual path, we will see how we have evolved, grown, and changed. The world and the people in your life will appear differently. Everything changes. Everything on the outside of you is only a reflection of who you are on the inside. Remember, as within, so without. So you cannot and you do not and you will not change the world. And that's meaningless. People who go out there and they feel, I want to change the world. Meaningless. The only world that exists out there is the world you've created. You're going to see it your way. Everyone else is going to see it theirs. You change yourself on the inside first. And then the outside world automatically changes as a result. And this is why you can live in your own self-created heaven. You don't have to wait to go back to spirit. You can have it right now. You have that ability. It's within you. But you have to know that. And you've got to do the spiritual work to get there. Now, this is the greatest lesson and knowing that you can have as an eternal soul in human form, and that is that you can have heaven on earth. So this is all a roadmap for those of you who are new to spirituality and you have a burning desire to grow and evolve. It's not a mistake or a chance that you are here now. You were already being guided to your own awakening. And as you do, you're going to walk this new path, the path that shall be laid out for you. And you're already being guided to your own awakening, your own personal path. Not my path, not anyone else's path, your path. Look, my path began in 1988. And back then, I was a senior in high school. And I'm going to talk about what awakened me, what got my attention at that time, because there was no internet. And it was very slow going for me for the first decade. I didn't know where I was going or what I was doing. I even thought I should wind up in church, and I did for a period of time, because what did I know? So, learning and growing, there were not the resources to help you as they are today. So I'm here to help all of you. That's as an educator, which is what I did for many, many years. I have a burning desire to help people, to inspire them, to enlighten them. And I've worked with hundreds, if not, thousands of young people have had my programs through the past. But I've mentored hundreds of younger people because younger people's minds have not been completely molded and polluted yet. They're still open. They could be 18 to 21, even up to 25. Their minds are still developing. They're still open. I'd rather inspire them then than have to wait until somebody's in their 40s or 50s and they're so set in their belief systems. And we see that happening all the time. But what's coming to this planet is going to help change everybody. It's going to open up everybody's eyes. It's going to seem scary to people not like me, because I'm not, again, I'm detached, like I've spoken in the other episodes. I'm detached from whatever I see going on out there, because I can live in my own created world, just as you. But these things must happen for the sake of humanity. But I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm here to assist in any way. And I hope as these podcasts get out there more, and they will grow naturally, there'll be more and more information out there for people. Ask me, leave comments, ask questions. That's why I'm here. I'm here to serve you, because I want all of you to know what I know. I want all of you to experience what I experience. I want all of you to have the peace and the joy, the happiness, the perfect health, the abundance that I have, because I know I can have that. That's my birthright, but it's also your birthright. And you have the power to do this. You do. If you don't think you do, then you have to start. You got to start with that. You got to first realize, well, let me give this a try. But remember, ask. Ask. Call out and ask for help. You can call out to Jesus. You can call out to St. Michael. You can call out to all of these wonderfully majestic, high ascended beings of light who are there to help you and help you grow. And as I say, you've got guides who are part of your spiritual family. You don't know who they are right now, but when you go back to spirit, you'll be like, oh, that was you? And again, I'm going to talk about, definitely talk about near-death experiences, because that will help you understand when you see that people from around the world, from all cultures, all religions, including atheists, have these incredible experiences when they've died and they've been brought back. And when I say died, I mean cardiac arrest, which means you're dead. There's no brain activity. I'm going to tell you some stories that will just open your eyes and blow your mind, because we've never been taught this. We've always been taught, well, when you die, you die. Well, only your body dies. You are an eternal being. And make that one of your affirmations every day. Affirmations like, I am my greatest and greatest highest self. I'm becoming the greatest version of myself every day. And I wish for peace and joy, happiness, prosperity, health and abundance for me, for my family, for friends, and for everyone on this planet. You have to wish it for everybody, because you'll get it, but then you're wishing it for everybody else. So your version of reality, you're helping usher in this new ascension, this new world, where everyone is living in abundance and peace. And that's what everybody wants. All regular people have the same things in their hearts. Everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants to live their dreams. Everybody wants good friendship. Everyone wants respect. Everyone wants health. Everyone wants to, live a nice life. That's what everybody wants. But this system on this planet is over. It doesn't serve anyone that way anymore, except for the small few at the top who are fighting so hard. That's why this election coming up is spiritual. You've heard Joe Rogan's talked about it. In fact, this Friday, Donald Trump's going on Joe Rogan's podcast. That's going to be 100 million views right there. Tucker Carlson, Russell Brand, Bobby Kennedy Jr., Tulsi Gabbard. All of them have been saying, this is spiritual, what's going on. This is not another election. This isn't normal. This is a spiritual battle. But guess who wins? God wins. Always does. Always will. Anyway, folks, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and subscribe, if this is something you really enjoy. And we hope to keep expanding upon this. I'll have my Twitter handle, Twitter X. I always still call it Twitter. It's a habit. I'll have that in the description box below. Share this with people who you think will gain something from it. Ask me questions, comments, whatever it may be. I'm here to help you. That's my job. So until the next time, this is Portal to the Infinite, wishing you the greatest life you could possibly have and discovering who you really are. Take care, folks.